to be wealthy. We often look at billionaires like Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett and think about the blood, sweat, and tears that went into making their millions. However, there are a lucky few around the world who have gone from having 10 cents in their bank account to being multi-millionaires in just 24 hours. So how have they done it exactly? Some had to go full Indiana Jones and search the far reaches of Earth for their treasure. Some were just looking for a lost item, and some, possibly the luckiest of all, were able to fetch their millions with just a single piece of paper. Buckle up, because today we're going to take a look at the 5 people around the world who have achieved the dream. 5 people who became millionaires overnight. And be sure to stick around for the last millionaire on our list, or shall I say millionaires. Number 5. Kevin Lewis. Picture it. You're standing in a glitzy casino, cool drink in your hand, dreading going to work the next morning. You're not really paying attention to the world around you, but there's something about $1 million drawing going on. Who cares? You're never going to win one of those things. You take a swig of your drink and that's when your name rings out over the intercom. Well, that's exactly what it was like for Kevin Lewis of Cincinnati, Ohio back in 2013. Horseshoe Casino Cincinnati was doing their annual promotion with a $1 million prize, and his name was the lucky one to be drawn. He was a millionaire now. What could possibly go wrong? He could dine on caviar, buy the whole room a round of drinks, quit his job. He was Kevin Lewis, millionaire. Or was he? The casino looked over the paperwork and realized he wasn't the winning Kevin Lewis. In fact, another Kevin Lewis who wasn't in attendance was. Both Kevin Lewises were in their 50s, frequented the casino, had been residents of Cincinnati their whole lives, and were both engaged to be married. The casino had a case of mistaken identity on their hands. It immediately came into question what would happen to the wrong Kevin Lewis. Would he have to cut up his check or hand it over to his more fortunate doppelganger? Luckily for both Kevins, the casino did the right thing and drafted up another check for the other Kevin Lewis. 2 millionaires were made in 24 hours. Number 4. Nick Mead. All of us have hobbies. Some like to knit, birdwatch, or smoke people in Call of Duty. Not that I've logged 20 days of playing or anything. Some people like tanks a lot. Some people like Nick Mead have managed to make a career out of buying and selling tanks. But how could buying crummy old war-torn tanks make someone a millionaire? Well, it started with the purchase of an Iraqi tank, the Army Type 69. Upon opening the tank, Nick Mead discovered machine gun ammunition inside. Cool, but not a couple $1 million cool. So Nick and his friends started recording, hoping to film themselves discovering more treasure inside the tank. They expected to maybe find a gun, some more ammo, maybe some other weapons, but that's not what they found. When he reached inside the old dusty fuel tank, Nick Mead found the last thing you would expect. 5 solid gold bars, valued at $1.2 million. The gold was assumed to have been stashed there by Iraqi soldiers during the invasion of Kuwait in the 90s, so becoming the owner of a new tank and $1.2 million sounds like a pretty decent afternoon to me. Number 3. Peter Watling and Eric Laws. Dust off your history textbook and break out a metal detector. This next story is one of the most unbelievable I've ever heard, and trust me, I've been around quite a bit. We all know losing an item is a pain. Why, just this afternoon I lost my solid gold cufflinks that were given to me by a sheik, and it drove me mad. I'm sure you can relate. That being said, Peter Watling is probably thanking God every day that he lost his hammer in a farm field back in the 90s. Not itching to buy another one, he invited his metal detecting friend Eric Laws over to help him search for it. They didn't find the hammer right away. What they did find, however, was about 1 million times better than it, and about 1 million times more expensive. They stumbled upon the Hoxne Hoard, a hoard of gold, silver, and untold riches from the 4th century Roman Empire. The treasure weighed out to be about 7.7 pounds of pure antique gold and 52.7 pounds of pure silver. All in all, the hoard contained 569 gold coins, 14,727 silver coins, 29 pieces of gold jewelry, vases, pepper pots for transporting spices, and several other historically important items. Both Peter and Eric were given the modern-day equivalent of $3 million for their find. In a single hit on a metal detector, they went from hunting down hammers to hunting down ways to spend their $3 million fortune. Number 2. Mel Fisher. In 1622, Nuestra Señora de Atocha, a Spanish ship carrying its weight in gold, was covered in the shadows on an impending hurricane. Overcome by waves and wind, the ship and its crew sank to the bottom of the Caribbean, lost forever. Or was it? Over the years, hundreds, if not thousands of people have searched for the ship to no avail. That changed in 1975, when scuba diver Mel Fisher, his family, and a team of divers dove down into the dark waves searching for the ship. Personally, I think I'd rather dive off the coast with some dolphins in a Mai Tai close by, but you know, to each their own. Some people like hunting for treasure, some people just like spending it. What they discovered was unlike anything the world had ever seen. 40 pounds of gold and silver, 72 pounds of emeralds, priceless artifacts, and 114,000 Spanish coins. The value of the treasure? $430 million, making it the most expensive shipwreck ever discovered. After a lengthy legal battle, the team was given the rights to the treasure they had found, instantly making them multi-millionaires. Number 1. Sodeto, Spain. What is the most impressive overnight millionaire on our list? Well, I've got a bit of a twist for you. So for a moment, let us explore the town of Sodeto, Spain. A cozy rural village, Sodeto is full of gruff farmers and people who work as house cleaners. It's the type of place I'd probably stick out like a sore thumb. It isn't a place of luxury or extravagance. It's a mountain town of about 250 people. But wait, what is that? A flat screen TV? A $1,000 couch? Is that woman wearing Gucci? What's going on here? Although it doesn't look like it at first glance, Sodeto is a village of millionaires. It's like Bel Air or Tribeca, just, you know, rural, and nothing like them at all. In 2012, the entire city of Sodeto managed to win the lottery. In Spain, the lottery isn't sold with individual numbers. People buy a share in a fixed number. The entire village, minus one unlucky man, bought at least one ticket with the number 58268. And believe it or not, that number won, with a jackpot of $158 million. People hurried into the streets, celebrating their victory. This farming community had instantly become rich. Several people had bought more than 10 tickets, making them millionaires. Even those who bought a single ticket made out with $100,000 or more. Not so bad for buying a piece of paper, huh? Feeling a little sorry for that one poor sap that didn't buy a ticket? Well, no worries. As if the town couldn't get any luckier, the only person who didn't buy a ticket was a filmmaker. He filmed the aftermath of the winnings and made money distributing the films all over Spain. So, how has the tiny town full of millionaires changed? Well, not a lot, actually. Some people quit their jobs, but almost everyone chose to remain in their town living their ordinary lives. So, there you have it. 5 people who managed to become millionaires overnight. What do you think of how they came into their fortune? Tell me what's the first thing you'd buy if you woke up a millionaire.